Early this year, I played a game that actually left some sort of impression on me. Strange, I know. I remember beating the game and going back through it afterwards to get all the achievements and do, well, everything in it. And that's a surprise because I hadn't done something like that since Halo 3. Not on the Master Chief Collection, the original Halo 3 in 2007. And I did all this because I enjoyed the game that much. So what game was this? Well, if you read the title, you would know that it was Timelie by Urnique Studios, who is a team from Thailand who's grown into a bit of a small publisher after the release of this game. Timelie was released in May of 2020, and by all accounts has done pretty well for itself. But you know me, I'm late to every party, so I played this on January 2nd of 2023. But enough about the history. What is this game and why did I enjoy it? To put it simply, Timelie is a puzzle game where your main tool to complete stages is time. You can use the power to see the future, rewind time, and a few others that would be a bit of a spoiler if I mention them here, to complete individual rooms in a chapter. And while most of the levels have basically one solution to them, the one that the devs intended, some of the levels come with alternative paths that add a little bit of variety, but not really enough for a full-on second playthrough of the game. And on top of all of that, some of the levels have these special little challenges. Complete this stage without repairing things, stuff like that. And if you complete all of those in the game, you unlock a mini extended ending for, well, after the 5 chapters of the game. All of this leads me into the question, why did I love this game? Why was I instantly hooked? Well, let's look at the game itself. In Timelie, you play as a young girl with no name who has just awoken in a weird sci-fi floating facility with a bunch of chess pieces and stuff around. Very quickly after that, you find that there are these evil robot things that will hunt you down on sight, so you better avoid them. And just as we start to feel like we've learned our time-controlling mechanics, we're introduced to a feline companion who can change how you interact with the world. With the two of you working together, you push forward through puzzles, open vaults, and collect things, but at no point are you really told why you're doing any of this. And that's the first reason. The game has no real text or voice acting, nothing to really tell you what's happening. Instead, you're just left with the art, the girl with no name, and the orange cat. Now, if that simplicity of storytelling didn't hook you, perhaps I should discuss how you actually go about solving the problems in this game, since that is basically the gameplay and was a big reason that I fell in love with it. For every single room, you start by entering in a time-frozen state. Nothing is moving, no harm can actually come your way. This gives you time to survey everything about the puzzle without fear of anything bad actually happening to you. And once you're ready, you can advance time a bit through your own controls so that you can see whatever is happening in the room at your own pace. And while doing this, you could also start issuing commands to your characters using a point-and-click system, which allows you to watch everything play out. And did I mention that you're not actually controlling your character directly? All of your control are through these point-and-click systems, which harkens back to RTSs that I also loved. Now, all of these together bring us to one very important thing. There's no real failure state here. If you make a mistake, you can just rewind things a bit and change the actions that you issue. This creates a state of non-urgency in the game, or at least it did, which, allowed me to fix things on the fly, and is basically the central gameplay feature that I fell in love with in this game. Now, that's not to say that everyone would love Timelie. It's a puzzle game, and it's a genre that can truly make you feel like you're an absolute moron at times, be it missing an obvious solution, spending half an hour trying to do something to realize that it was never needed, or just not feeling good about the solution that you actually came up with. This can all hurt the perception of the game, and for some people, I wouldn't recommend it based off of that. But for me, I enjoy the challenge, and my Twitch stream loved watching me suffer, so they got along with it too. And the final reason I love this game is something that I can't really in good conscience talk about without spoiling, the game. And it is probably the best gameplay feature in a puzzle game that I've seen so far. But let's just say the final act throws some really fun curveballs at you, and it's actually one of the main reasons that I put this game near the top of my list of favorite games. Now, I wanted to keep this video really short, so there are some things that I didn't talk about. This wasn't really a full review, just me reminiscing, but I do want to say that throughout the game, I did become attached to our characters. I love the art style and the aesthetic of the rooms, and listening to the soundtrack again, I thought it was really done and fit the theme of the game very well. And with that, it's my brief introduction to an indie game that I had fallen in love with earlier this year. If you like this video and want to see more about other indie games or farming sim games, please like and subscribe. And here are the people that made this video possible. What is one indie game that you didn't expect to like as much as you did? Because this was mine. Thank you for watching.